All right, so I'm gonna play this all the way through. They're gonna give you my analysis. So check it out. Let's get into it. All right. So now as you can see, I just got a turnover. So I'm trying to get a ball to Draymond. Draymond is driving to the basket. This is clearly an obvious, easy scoring opportunity. And just as well as I recognize it, just as well as you recognize it if you're watching this, the algorithm also recognizes this. All right, the algorithm knows what's going on. Like I always say, it's aware of all of the different basketball scenarios. It is aware of all the possible outcomes, and it also has a counter. Right, the algorithm has a counter act to what you're trying to do. It has a response to prevent it from happening. All right, and this happens a lot, especially in 22, where you're giving the ball to a man and he's driving to the basket. You think you got to open an easy pass, or open bucket, and he will divert and go a completely different direction out of the blue because the game, when it registers that you're trying to pass on the ball, it forces him to redirect his course and go somewhere else, right? And me when I'm trying to pass on the ball while he's on his way to the cup, um, the game, when it forces me to pass it to him, it makes me pass over the head into a path where this guy could actually reach up and steal the ball, right? But just in general, what they were trying to do was to prevent the easy scoring opportunity. Man, this happens so much. I have so many examples of this exact type of situation happening on 2K. Um, where you trying to pass the ball to a man, he run behind another defender when you're trying to give him the ball. That's how you know, for the most part, you could tell by the convenience of how and when things happen that it's scripted. Because pretty much every time, just about every time that something like this happens, it results in a turnover because he's not just running, he's not just diverting in the wrong way. He's typically going behind or putting himself in a position where the ball could get stolen. That's how you know it's a scripted event. It's not just it's not just a mistake. People talk about 2K like it's flawed. 2K is not, I mean, every game is flawed, but these issues in 2K is not a flaw. It's not a flaw. This is happening on purpose. They're doing this deliberately. All right? Because what? They're trying to mimic a challenge for you. Right? They're trying to emulate a challenge because what you basically would do if they don't do stuff like this is you would just dominate computer relentlessly. You would drop 50 and 60 on them relentlessly. I've done it. I've done it. I do it. If you could see the games in 2K21 and how much I was beating computer by on average, it was just relentless. So they've limited your ability to do that in this 2K, right? So you're gonna have a lot of instances like this right here, where you're running a smooth play, everything is going perfectly fine, and boom, out of the blue, somebody does the dumbest thing you can think of, and it's like, why would he do that? But you don't really see the computer do that on the opposing team, right? They only do this dumb stuff to your teammates because they're trying to clamp down, they're trying to tamp down your ability to just get off, right? So they throw little monkey wrenches, little curveballs at you all throughout the game, all right, in the form of animations, so-called glitches, sliding around the court, whatever the case may be. You're like in this situation, your man running behind someone or running the wrong direction when you're passing the ball, even though you're lead passing him a certain way. You have scenarios where you lead pass a man a certain way and he'll go the opposite direction. The game is doing that to you on purpose, right? That's the algorithm. That's how the algorithm works. It knows what's going on and it controls the game, right? It'll slow you down. It'll make you miss everything wide open. It'll, whatever the case may be, right? But their purpose is to try to not allow it to be so easy for you to dominate, because they have not really done their job and their due diligence in programming the opposing team's computer to just be able to play a solid game of basketball with integrity. So they're compensating by constantly cheating you, constantly utilizing tactics to impede your ability to actually play well. Right? This don't make any sense. You could tell by how he jerked off to the other direction. It was unnatural. It was a triggered reaction. This happens so much in 22. It happens a lot more than it did in 21. A lot more. All right. But anyway, peace.